Good evening, everyone. Glad you can keep me company. I'm at one of London's most haunted churchyards, so I'm going to take you on a little walk just around the old monastery and the churchyard, and I'll tell you a little story. Seeing as it's Halloween week, so we're going to put the bats on. So it's the first time we've got bats, so I've held it back for something special. Yes, spooky indeed. Lots of ghosts, lots of bats. But I'll just show you the church. This is the churchyard at the back of Greyfriars. Hello. Hello, or should we say hello? You see these lights here, it didn't show up too well on camera. Good evening, Webchuck. But these are actually gas lights. These are some of the few remaining gas lights. Yeah, they're not electric at all. These are gas, so they give off a nice grey glow. Evening, Mert. But this is the churchyard. It's the Greyfriars, and all I'm going to show you. It used to be a Franciscan monastery. Hello, New York. So I'll take you around the courtyard, and I'll just show you a little bit of a little bit like how London used to look like as well. And I'll tell you the gruesome story of Greyfriars. Hello, Russia. There was also a Greyfriars Bobby, but it's titled something different. No, this is in Greyfriars. We're just near St Paul's, so what I'll do, I'll show you around. So I'll just show you the churchyard. Now, I'll come back to this and I'll tell you the story that went on there. You're scared. Oh, I'm glad you're scared. I'm petrified, but so look, this is some of the. You can just see how now. I don't know how haunted you want to talk that. How bad is that? Hey, splitting my words here. Yes, it's well lit, and we're quite close to a road, but that's spooky indeed. Yes. While I'll show you here, look, there's a little passageway just down the side. It just shows you a little bit. This again, these are all gas lights. So this is one of the few streets that's like lit by gas. Hello, Atlanta. And they're actually there's about 1,200 left in London, and they're really quite nice. They don't show up well on camera, but as I'm walking down here, you can see the little gas lamps. You can almost smell them actually. You can see that there. Yes, so these are all gas, and they're actually gas engineers turn them on at night. There's still the old tradition of lamp lighting. Where is it exactly? This is a area. This is called Greyfriars. It's on the Greyfriars Monastery. I'll show you. We're just across from St Paul's actually, not too far away from there. It's going well so far. I haven't had anyone tap me on the shoulder. Now, so there's actually been on this site. There used to be a monastery on this site. Yes, there's about 1,200 left in London. Now we'll come round to here. Look, now there's been a church here on this monastery. There used to be a Franciscan monastery. Hello, Oklahoma. Welcome to our little spooky tour of London. Now, there was a monastery on this site since 1228. Hello, Ireland. So they demolished it in the medieval times, about 1325 it was. But it was destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666, and they rebuilt it again. Stop it. Yes, it looks like a bell tower out there. There is a light on, so hopefully someone is home. So this was actually destroyed during the Second World War on December the 29th, 1940. You see these pillars here, these are the site of these were the old pillars that held up the church roof. So now it's made into a little garden. Yeah, this is Greyfriars. This is the site of the old Greyfriars Monastery in London. It was bombed during the Second World War. It had been destroyed. This was an area they, rather than rebuild it, you can see how large it is. A lot of the walls remained. Now some of the area, if you see, no, it's not the east. I'll just show you actually. Look, if I just pan around, you can just see the rooftop of St Paul's Cathedral. So that is St Paul's Cathedral just over there. Okay. So we're just almost in the shadows of St Paul's. So we're just behind it a little bit. So there was so much of it remained that they kept it as a sort of garden. There are places, and you'll see these towers around. I'll show you. If you've been on in some of my other scopes, you'll have seen. I've shown you a couple of these towers. Just the tower remains because that's the strongest part, and that can withstand the blast. Yes, but some of the walls actually stayed up here, so it became a garden. It was never rebuilt. So what I'm going to do here, I'll just show you this around here. I've got a little story for you in a minute about why this is so haunted. Yes, we're very close to St Paul's. All this area was really. So we're looking at some of the. If you see some of the black marks, what you're looking at is, and what you're actually looking at is actually the remains of a Second World War bomb site. Tigger, I've had to put him away. This is not for Tigger's ears, unfortunately. Yes, in December the 29th, 1940, there were 25,000 high explosive bombs landed on London in one night. It's actually one of the pineapples of London. Pineapples are actually a symbol of great wealth. It was very difficult to get pineapples in London. So the 17th century, when Britain started to trade. Is there any church stone ground here? Hello, Spy. Yeah, as you can see, actually, we're still looking at the original steps, the ground on the ground of the church here. I should think some of it may have been done over, but look, you can see the walls here. So hello, Target, and hey to you too. Yes, they're a symbol of great wealth as well. So right. So here's some of the spooky London. Oh, no problem, Sky. So what I'll do, I'll take you a little walk back here. I'll just tell you a little tale of this. If you're not getting scared about this. This is Greyfriars. Well, you can see some of the streaks probably from flames from exploded bombs and fires that went on during 1940. Yes, creepy indeed. So I'm going to take you back to this churchyard because I've got a little story for you. So if you're all sitting comfortably, what's in the window? It looks like there's a few little pottery, little lamps and that kind of thing. So it's still being looked after. So I'm going to take you back into the churchyard and I'll tell you a little story. This is our little gas lamp story. Our little gas lamp garden. Yes. Come on, don't try it now. This is better enough walking around on my own here. This is actually it's surrounded actually by the Merrill Lynch Bank here. Yes, scary indeed. So what we'll do, we'll just go under here, I think. I'll get under the light here. Right. Anyway, so I'm just gonna read this little note here I've got in a book. I'm just reading my little tales here. We're not too far away from the main road, so if I have to scream, I'm sure someone will come and help me out. Okay, this is the site of an ancient burial ground where lie the mortal remains of the she-wolf of France, Queen Isabella, wife of the English King Edward II. So with her lover Roger Mortimer, she was instigated in the deposing of the king and had him imprisoned in Berkeley Castle. On the night of the 21st of September 1327, he was brutally murdered by way of a kind of horn or funnel thrust into his fundamental through which a red-hot spit was run up his bowels. Very gruesome indeed. His screams could be heard far outside the castle walls and are still heard there on the anniversary of the horrific event. Isabella was imprisoned by her son, Edward III, and kept in solitary confinement until her death. She was burned here at Greyfriars, with her heart of Edward II placed upon her breast. At twilight, a beautiful angry ghost flits among the trees and bushes, clutching the beating heart of her murdered husband before her. So, yes, so that's the tale of Isabella. And she still haunts this graveyard, apparently. So she was burnt at the stake here for trying to murder the king. Right. Now there's another part to this story. Yes, clutching his beating heart. So watch out for it. I'm going to read the story. So if you see anything walking around this graveyard, just shout, and I'll try not to look. There's nobody else here at the moment. There's a few people just outside the building. There's a bank. The Bank of America is just behind me, and there's a few people smoking, but not too much anyway. Right. The next part of our story. This is really frightening doing this. I've never told a ghost story in a graveyard, but here we go. Lady Alice Hungerford was once considered the great beauty of the Tudor age, and she too murdered her spouse, in her case with a lethal dose of poison. In 1523, she paid for her crime by being boiled alive. She was laid to rest at Greyfriars, where her beautiful, serene phantom was soon seen drifting through the cloisters and aisles of the great monastery, and following its dissolution through the burial ground that sprang up on its site. So the church we just walked through, she would be seen walking up and down the aisles out there. So we've just walked through there, and she was boiled alive. So now we've got two ladies with having very gruesome deaths and a tale to tell. And they're both buried in this graveyard. So now the two ladies, they went about their nocturnal rambles, each blissfully unaware of the other's existence, until one night, in Victorian times, they met amongst the tombs. So in this graveyard, you can imagine those two women who've had brutal deaths and just went about their ways. They suddenly came upon each other, eyeing each other with curiosity, then surprise, and finally hostility. They each became jealous of each other's beauty, and a fearsome battle erupted as they fought over their territory. Bemused witnesses could only look on in terror as the spectral flight upon them became more and more vicious. A night watchman, caught up in the midst of the ghostly squabbling, was so frightened by the experience that he fled the scene and never came back to collect his pay. So there you go. So there was a girly ghost fight in this churchyard in Victorian times. So that's the story. So I hope you enjoyed that little ramble. So that's one of my first little ghost stories. So this is the area. Yeah. So the warden never came back. He never came back to collect his pay. So they must have seen something in here. Well, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to walk back into the normal churchyard there, and I'll just show you where it is. Well, we've got a few more of these. I've been doing a little read up. I'm going to take you to another little couple of places. I'll see if I can get one more in tonight. You can't go into the Dale Tower. I think it's private property inside now. You can actually just look here. It's at 10 o'clock. Or we can just hear the ghostly bells of St Paul's here at the moment. I don't know if you can pick that up. But that's the bells of St Paul's. You can actually see the spire there of St Paul's. We can just hit it's very eerie. You can hear the bells going off now. The graveyard itself, that was that small little park there. and it was opened up in the 1870s as an open space. So it wasn't used as a graveyard anymore beyond that time. So there. So this is the church where our second ghost used to walk up and down until she took a wander into the graveyard, and then it all became out. Well, you're keeping me company, but yes, I must say I was a little bit. I've been a little bit spooked. So there you go. This little courtyard I'm not too sure about the building. I think it may be even I'm not sure exactly what the tower is used for. I think it might be something still to do with it. Yeah, there are lights still on there. I think it may be still part of the church building. It may be some offices or something. But you can come into this courtyard and it's just, you can see, so we're basically, this is the aisles of the church, so you can imagine all the pews would be here between these wooden uprights here. They would be the pillars that would hold up the church roof. So they've been recreated in like a little wooden, so you can imagine the shape of it there. So, and this is just a little courtyard. Well, it's Halloween week, so if it would partake, so I've held back on the lights are on, but nobody's home, so I've held back on the bats. Yes, I should imagine there's still people in that graveyard. It's actually been there's been a monastery here since the early 1300s. Yes, so we're actually walking up the aisle here, because obviously you can see the two walls on either, so that you can see that's on one side of the wall there, and that's on the other. So we're actually inside. I've just come to the end actually. I've just told a story, so it's not too long. So we've just been here about 5 minutes. So when I'll hang up, you can go back and watch again. So I hope you enjoyed that little one. This week could be a lot of fun, and I'm going to see if I can get another one in tonight. As you can see, yes, there's nobody looking out that window, is there? There's not one of those. They're not having another cat fight out there, hopefully. Scary, it is, isn't it? Right, so I thought that was just something a little bit fun for this week. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to see if there's. Right, I'll do you one more. Does everyone want to do one more? There's a lady waving in the window. Yeah. If you want to do one more, yes. All right then. I'll take you to another place. Right. I'll take you one more, because what time is it now? It's about 10 o'clock. All right. I'll squeeze in one more. So if you haven't joined me already, I'll take you on I'll tell you another little spooky story just down the road. Okay. What was that noise? Probably a bus. Okay. Right. Let me just leave you on a picture. Yeah, well, we're right near the road here, so we've got the buses, and the buses are close. So there's the Tower of Greyfriars. Right, thanks for joining. Thanks for all the bats for the first time. And I'm going to go out into the street where it's light there, because I managed to survive that one. And those women are really frightening me. Okay, see you next time, or very shortly. Thanks for joining. Good night. Sleep tight.